Hey guys. So, Spirit wants me to talk about our environments. So, our home, our car, any space that we are in on a regular basis. Even if it's like at work and you have an office or something like that. Your general space in your environment and why it's so important to tend to it and what it really says about you. Um, there's a lot of energy in that. That's why there's like people out there who do like feng shui, who talk about how important energy is in terms of your vibrational frequency, etc. And how and even like different items can hold energy in your home and mean certain things and generate certain energy. But really, if you think about it, think about like a cluttered home. If somebody's more cluttered, they might be mentally cluttered. They might be energetically cluttered, right? And I feel like it's very interesting because then you could take someone who has OCD and see how being neat and clean can be to anything in too much can get negative, right? Drinking too much water, you could drown yourself, right? And having your house, being obsessive over your house or obsessive compulsive doesn't necessarily mean like that you're not cluttered or whatever energetically. It just means that you're using cleaning as a coping mechanism. So just like understand that differentiation. And because there's always people that want to be like, well, what they want to bring in a special case, and every single person does not fit in a box. So everyone's experience, no matter if I'm talking about relationships, no matter what I'm talking about, everyone's experience is different. Okay. So, for example, like we can become, when we're depressed, very neglectful of our environment. And so our environment is reflecting our inner state. So like we really need to be more conscious, intuitive about like maybe even what color we paint our walls, how we organize, what are we hanging on to that we're hoarding. All of that is energy. I clean my closet out probably once every couple months now. And I actively get rid of things. And I'm like, wow, I haven't used that in a year, haven't used that in a year. And I just keep it going. And I have 4 kids, so it's just a lot like that. And they're always growing out of stuff and needing bigger sizes, whatever. It's a process, right? It's a lot of energy. But after you get done doing something like that, donating a bunch of stuff, there is a whole weight lifted off you because you literally are carrying that. I think the most lightest, you'll see stories about people who went straight minimalism or just living out of a van or something like that. And they live like a really fulfilling life, not having more things, right? And each person has a different way of, living life. But a lot of us are attached to the material world because we were raised in that programming. So like we get hits of dopamine off of buying shit, off of having a fucking shed full of Christmas decorations we put out every year. And it's like you love the energy and the joy in it. But a lot of times we get so stuck on materialism, we forget that we can actually bring in our creative side. You could actually use recycled materials and make a ton of cool Christmas decorations with them or something like that with your family, make a whole party of it and like really create a different type of energy in that tradition, right? We used to do like snowman building competitions when I was younger. So each person would have their own snowman and then somebody would judge that didn't make a snowman, one of the adults like grandpa or something. But those are memories we'll never forget. And everybody had their unique snowman. Everybody put a different twist on it, right? And it's just like that is more meaningful than having a whole freaking garage full of decorations, right? And I'm trying to make a point about materialism, about the meaning of things, about not needing a lot in order to feel good, about the fact that life isn't about the things. It's never been about the things. Like you can live such a frugal, simple life and have the most fulfilling memories with the most awesome games you might have played with your family, like things that don't require a lot of money. And the reason I like to talk about things that don't require a lot of money, because a lot of people are in the programming of you have to go on a special vacation to a special place or buy special things to feel good or to get a hit of like feeling like you're a success in life because you can buy these things, right? There's a lot of people sitting in $1 million homes that bought the home, but now they can't even furnish the home because they spent their last dime buying this fancy home. Now you can't even barely afford groceries, but you have this fancy home. I literally have met people like that. And it's mind-blowing. Nobody on the outside knows. You only know if you know this person, you know, on an individual level. But most people live in that way. And it's hard to like get in this creative energy. It's hard to have a clear space at home. It's hard to like get into this energy of flow with the universe when you're constantly on the hamster wheel of like making money and escaping and selling your soul to the program and all of that. And I know this is kind of, it seems like it's not focused in on minimalization, but it really is, because materialism is a huge issue in our society, in our world, in our matrix. A lot of people struggle to get out of the programming because one of the ways we cope in life are to buy a bunch of shit and to look big and fancy and to have a car that people will be like, wow, they're doing okay in life. They just want to be seen in a certain way. It's our egos. And shopping, oh my gosh, men and women alike have serious issues with spending money, and it is just normalized and then projected onto us through advertising and now social media and people getting on convincing you need to buy something to be prettier or for this or that or this. They got a fucking thing for everything, guys. Instead of us tapping into a more creative version of ourselves that doesn't have to buy this thing, we can actually create something that works. We can actually solve a problem without having to pay somebody to do it, because we've acquired those skills through not being afraid to go fucking try something new. Most people would rather throw money at something, work like a slave so they have more money, so every time a problem comes up, they can throw money at somebody who has the skill to fix it. How fucking codependent is that? That is so codependent on the system. When really what we have to do in order to build our own self-esteem and own authentic sense of sovereignty and authority is to acquire as many skills as we can, to become as most self-sufficient as we possibly can, in whatever way that looks for you, in order to build our own confidence and skills. So we don't even have to be like, wow, I have to really gain up a lot of courage to take this risk or do this decision that's actually in the energy of a higher version of me. I don't have to work up as much courage this time because I have acquired skills over the time and every day trying new things and fixing things on my own and doing things on my own that I know I can do it myself, and I don't have to worry about trying something new because I prove to myself over and over again that I can learn new things and I can become a more well-rounded, expanded version of me. And you will feel way better about yourself. There won't be those depressing days where you need to escape all the time. Your hobbies are what you're going to want to go run to, not some coping mechanism or people who keep you down in lower frequencies. It's going to be you focusing on what makes you happy, and you know what fulfills you now because you've tried a few fucking things. Most people try nothing. They try nothing. We live in such a world where it blows my mind. Working in the school system is a direct example of that. And kids reflect their parents 100%. If you see a kid, their parents played a big role in why they act the way they act. And so like I'll be at school and I'll see kids and they just will look at, like, God forbid you ask them to write 2 sentences and they just don't even want to do it. Well, too much effort. Everybody just wants to stare at a fucking screen. And like, we are crippling our children. We are crippling ourselves. And every time we're a parent and we don't allow our kids to do things, we cripple them too. And we chip away at their own self-esteem. And that's what a lot of our parents did to us. They didn't teach us a bunch of skills. There aren't even that many people that still cook. Everybody goes and buys takeout. It's crazy. Where are the skills? Why aren't we teaching them in schools? There's so many things where the program is getting it wrong, and we have to intentionally choose on an individual basis to get it right in our own lives, to align in our own lives, to come into this space of, I don't want to be this old crusty person who's a slave to the matrix. I want to be a higher, more authentic version of me that isn't like anyone else, that's creating this new reality that is in alignment with new earth and higher version of earth that supports people stepping into their authentic versions in a confident version of themselves, a more capable, aligned, light shining version of yourself, guys. Like, if you could just get a taste of what that feels like to be immersed in a hobby or a creative venture, and just you can't think about anything else because you're so zoned in and connected. That is your purpose. Not this fucking job that drains you and you dread going to, and they don't give you any space. They act like your life should be that job. That ain't it. That is not it. Being a slave to the broken program is not it. You can shine your light as you go out into the matrix and make a difference through your energetic emanation. But ooh, what a more expansive frequency is it when you fully immerse yourself in what you came here to do, what sets your soul on fire, what makes your cup overflow, so then you are a better parent, partner, spouse, family member, whatever it is. You're a better person in general. You could honestly be at home immersed in your hobby, emanating your frequency, and impact people more than if they were in the general vicinity of you, because we are all connected in this universe. When we come into that expanded perception of that we're all connected, we'll stop screwing around, wasting our time, suppressing our emotions. We'll get the healing done, connect to spirit, and get in alignment with our light. Why wouldn't we want to do that? Why wouldn't we want a better, easier, more flow life of peace? We are so attached to our own limitations, to our own struggle, to our own old crusty ass identity that is just a gross version of us we don't even want to look at anymore, but we keep going through the motions because that's what's normal. Good Lord, guys. We have to get out of our comfort zones. We have to stop arguing for our own limitations and stop saying, stop lying to yourself that you enjoy the matrix or it's somehow good for you. You know the truth. You know you want to be free. You know you want to wake up every morning and do the thing you love and be able to support yourself doing that. You deserve it. It's available right now. You can do it. All you got to do is get out of your damn comfort zone, have a little courage, and stop listening to idiots that don't know anything about this universe or how it works. And listen to your own inner guidance, because spirit will lead you along the way. That's how it all will start flowing for you. That deep faith, knowing everything was always working out for you. There's never a moment you're not supported. And anytime you run off to suppress or cope in some other way, that is your free will and choice. So you can go get dragged through the mud, or you can choose expansion. It's up to you. And you can choose the timeline you're on right now. We are going through a transition. We are going through a choice point. Everybody gets to choose. And if you see somebody who wants to come onto your timeline, but they're choosing to stay in the same old shit, goodbye. Because guess what? It is not going to fly, guys. You're not going to be able to keep giving your energy to people, places, and things that are just going to drain you. That's not what you came here for. And we all have these missions, but we're distracted by dumb shit. It doesn't seem dumb to our egos. It seems like life and death, but really it is just so dumb. And one day you're going to walk away from it and finally step into this authentic version. And you're going to look back and be like, why did I freaking take so long to walk away from that shit? And then you're going to be like, nope, I'm going to be easy on myself. I'm grateful for that. I finally figured this shit out. I stopped looping in stupid toxic patterns. And now I can be a better version of me. And I'm proud. When I go to sleep at night, I sleep peacefully, knowing that I am putting my best foot forward. I have good intentions, and I'm looking out for me and respecting me in all space and time. And inadvertently, that will impact people in a positive way. No matter if their egos try to manipulate you on an emotional level and tell you the decisions you're making aren't good for you, they don't know what's good for you. Only you and spirit do. So connect to that, and then they can watch it unfold. They can see the fruits of that faith that you have. The external can see that. It doesn't matter what they think anyways, though, guys. All that matters is how you feel. how you feel on a moment-to-moment basis. And sometimes that comes out and it sounds kind of selfish, because sometimes narcissistic, selfish people, all they care about is how they feel. But it's really their ego. There's a difference of all that matters is how you feel when your ego's running the show and when your higher self is running the show. When your higher self is running the show, it's because you're fulfilling you and overflowing your cup in order to impact the world around you. When your ego's running the show, all that matters is how you feel, is when you manipulate, lie, move in a way that's deceitful so you can manipulate the people around you in order to feel good and never take accountability. We all know those kinds of people who just lie so they can do whatever they want to do, but also have their cake and eat it too and have everyone and everything. It's just selfish people. That's not it. When you're fully immersed with spirit and that connection, that overflowing, that love for yourself, that connection, that is not you draining other people. That's not you siphoning people's energy and not giving them the opportunity to make a choice from an honest space. That connection to spirit is everything, guys. It's everything, because when you're connected to spirit, you will make a decision from a more expanded conscious base. And that's what we don't do when we just escape. Oh, I just don't even want to deal with it. Where's my beer? Let me call my friend and vent about it. Let me just call somebody that's going to make me feel okay with this bad shit that I'm doing, because they do it too. Ooh, then I don't have to change and I can stay in my comfort zone. Today feels like such a tough love message, guys. I'm sorry if it comes off a little harsh. I'm just bringing through the energy, right? So when spirit channels through people, they use that person's personality and their energy in order to get a certain message across, to create epiphanies within people, to tap into that's already inside them. I'm not saying anything that all of you don't already know, but sometimes we just need that epiphany. We need that little trigger that's like turns on that wire in our brain. It's like, oh shit. And we finally break the pattern. We finally say, no, I'm done fighting my own self, because I can choose how my life turns out, but I'm just keep running away from myself. So I'm not able to actually choose what's best for me. I'm married to the matrix instead of my own authentic version, right? Oof. Love yourself, guys. Do what's in connection. Do what's in alignment. Step into this version of you that you love. Not that the outside matrix loves, that you love. That you feel like you're not suppressing or wearing a mask, where you're being fully you and you are understood, respected, and loved in any environment you go in, because that's the energy you demand and carry. That's respect. And you will be in a space of service, because that's where you naturally come into when you're on your path and doing your work. You will be in an environment where you will be used to the most good. Sometimes that's by yourself. I'm by myself, but I talk to thousands of people. So what's that? That's my cake and eat it too. Honestly, I can spend my days alone, but still use my gift. I love the internet in some ways, but you feel me, guys. Like, it will work out for you in whatever way it is for you. Okay. Never in a million years would I have said I'd be on camera talking about anything or have a YouTube channel. I don't even like tech that much, and I hated presentations in school. I hated talking in front of people. I was more passive unless I was goofing around with my friends or something. But for the most part, I was pretty passive. I don't want to talk. When I was a kid, I used to hide behind adult's leg because I was shy. What am I doing here, guys? I never would have predicted this, but because I went inside and I surrendered to spirit, this is where I got put, and I actually am very fulfilled, putting hours and hours and hours and hours into videos. And it obviously is not about money, guys. It's about a calling. It's about service. It's about this connection to spirit and aligning and surrendering to what I came here to do. And because of that, I don't have to worry that money is going to come through YouTube. It could come through a million different ways. It doesn't have to be something that my ego needs to figure out. Spirit's going to take care of me, this single mom with 4 kids and a bunch of animals. And guess what? Spirit has never done me wrong. It has always taken care of me. And any time that I am drained in any way, it's because I align with a person, place, or thing that is not healthy for me. And it drains me. And then I learn that lesson. I get to try again the next time. Am I going to make the same decision? Or I'm going to align with my purpose? I had to take some time where I wasn't even on YouTube to integrate everything I've learned. Respect that. Don't put pressure on yourself. It's not always about doing. That was something I had to get over too. My productivity means that I'm worth a damn. Fuck that. Most of us struggle with that because we're in this damn matrix that builds us in schools to be 9 to 5 or factory workers and all the works. We are trained and ingrained to be a certain way, and we get a good old pat on the back from it, from all around us. Why? Because everybody else is doing the same thing and they want to feel like they're doing the right thing too. So we will keep supporting each other in our bullshit. Have you ever had a friend and they just agree with everything you're saying? Like, those are the best kind of friends, right? That's your best friend because they're being supportive. But sometimes, like, we got to be really honest. It's hard to be really honest with people that, at work or something, because that's their livelihood. That's all they know. And maybe they don't understand that spiritual connection, or that they can tap into gifts from thousands of different lifetimes and become this crazy authentic version of themselves that could make money and not be miserable at work every day and rebuild the whole system. But you can't approach it that way, guys. People aren't ready for that. So we have to get into our authentic energy so we can create that. Because that's what we came here for. So every single person that comes into their authentic energy contributes something different, and it all comes together in this beautiful way. And Spirit can co-create with us, but Spirit can't co-create with us if we're just out drinking with our friends or just doing shit like binge watching shows and shit like that. Like, how is Spirit going to work with you while you're just being a fucking zombie and suppressing everything? It's kind of hard. So, but when you're in alignment, it's much easier. You're a vibrational match to receiving, to co-creation. Expanded recognition of that is critical. And you'll get used to it. The more you peel back the layers, the more you realize it's a journey. The more you realize there is no destination. So start loving life now, baby, because that's how you go receive other more positive things. Then you can't love life until you start doing the shadow work. You can't love it because you're still sitting in these emotions and you believe it. You believe you're unworthy. You believe you ain't shit. You're not deserving. You transform that. You transmute that. You know you're worthy through connecting to Spirit and really getting into those hobbies, doing those things that fill your cup, and you build that worthiness in yourself, and you build that connection, and you get really real with yourself, and you're not those shadow versions. We all have, like, me, okay, so I can speak, I can communicate well. My shadow version is I could talk some shit too, right? And that used to get me in trouble back in the day. It also used to protect me. So we all have, that's just my personality. No, guess what? I've realized that is my personality. But I'm using it for negativity. How can I use it for positivity? Now I'm using it for service. You feel me? And we all have that. What is your personality? That is a way where you can get to know yourself. Ask yourself questions. Okay, this is part of my personality trait. How can I use that for the good or for the bad? How maybe if I used it in the bad in the past, how can I switch, flip, and correct that? How can I respond to life differently this time? How can I be more patient, loving, feminine, creative, connected to my intuition? We all need to be more feminine. Our whole world is very masculine. And it's not just the patriarchy. I'm not someone in here pushing feminism. Absolutely not. The family unit is critical. A mother and a father, that divine union energy, and raising children in the community, and just like the embodiment of integrity and what it means to show up as a man and what it means to show up as a woman, those things matter. How we organically and innately want to naturally be as human beings and tribes, etc., that matters. And so, like, obviously the one way we run this matrix is the opposite of that. But being innately aware of this world, how it operates, and how you are here to called to be operating in it, that is so critical. And it'll be different for everyone. Some people need to hold different perceptions in order to change different things in the matrix. So maybe I do hold the perception of a more traditional mindset, but maybe somebody else needs to hold a different perspective in order to do whatever it is that they're doing in their life. Maybe they aren't even focused on relationships. Maybe they need to be single so they can do whatever mission it is they came here to do, right? So guys, don't put yourself in a box. Recognize where if you're not being creative, your ego might be running the show. It really might. And where, in what ways, like just be very cautious of what decisions you're making and is that of the highest good. If you keep asking your question, is this the highest good? You will know the answer. Sometimes you'll deal with idiot people and they'll try to explain their way out of a stupid thing they might have done. And all you have to ask yourself is this of the highest good? And you have your answers. It's almost like the what would Jesus do bracelets. You guys remember those back in the 90s? Was it the 90s or the 2000s? I don't even remember when that was trending, when I was a kid. So that would be the 90s. But we used to wear them. And it would be like, yeah. You wouldn't have to ask your mom. We'd ask my mom. After she went through addiction, she got saved and really into the church. And so we had these bracelets and she was like, what would Jesus do? And we'd ask her a question, well, what would Jesus do? It did make you think, though. I really like the concept of it. And Jesus was just out there shining his light. That's what Jesus would have done. He was out there being his most authentic version, trying to show people they could do the same, and they just decided to worship him instead. Gosh, our freaking world is hilarious. Not in a good way, but if you don't laugh, you cry, right? So, oh my gosh, we're farther in than I wanted to go, guys. But whatever needed to come out was meant to come out for me and whoever else, guys. It's for all of us. We're all in this together. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you want to follow my other channels or donate to this channel or those channels, please see the links below. I love you so, so much. And thank you for watching. And I will see you on the next one.